All right, welcome back to the channel here. It's been a little over a month since I posted anything. It's just life's been busy. I do have a full-time job. I teach cybersecurity classes a few nights a week online. I do some consulting work over the weekend, and then of course there's always family. And it's been summertime, so you want to get out and enjoy it. And actually, I've been tied up. My wargaming time has been tied up actually doing some projects. I've cranked out a few Vassal mods for Decision Games, White Dog Games, and I've been dabbling in some development work for something coming out soon for Tiny Battle. So that's kind of used up my wargame time, but I'm hoping now to re-engage here. So I thought I'd do a relatively quick video just saying what my plans are going forward here, or what I'm hoping my plans are for. Feel free to give me any feedback. So yeah, just to kick it off, I mean, here's a website. You can see it's been about a month or more since the last thing I was doing was Old School Tactical Live. That was a fun experiment, but I don't think I'll be doing too many games like that physically. I prefer Vassal on the screen. So I'm probably going to be sticking with that going forward. But you do see on the screen some of the stuff I do want to revisit. I'll mention those in a second here, some of the topics. But first off, I do want to start out with Worthington Publishing's Civil War Brigade series. Really interested in that. Trying that out. The rules are not too hard. I mean, they're quick to get into. Not saying I don't want a more. There's plenty. I've got other detailed ones. I've got a number of great battles of those, and then I've got the ones from Tiny Battle on Gettysburg, which are more detailed. I call Black Swan, and I forgot the other names. Revolution Games too. So I've got a few of those, but I wanted to give this a shot because it seems straightforward. And I did spend time listening to, I think his name is Stephen Sears. He's got a series of books published a while back. He had one on the 7 Days, the Peninsular Campaign. He followed that with an Antietam one. He has a Gettysburg one. He has a Chancellorsville one. I've been reading those books also, mainly listening to audiobooks. So this seemed like a good game to try out. So I do want to try this out, 7 Days Battles. Got that. And there's good Vassal mods for these, which is also a positive. I also have Antietam, which I've bought, which was actually, that's the last book on tape I listened to from him. And I'm actually listening to a more detailed one, about 35 hours. I forgot what it was called. I'll show it later, but play that one too. And thanks to our friends at Gray Rooster, I was able to, he sells war games. You can just Google Gray Rooster War Games. He's also on Amazon. He does sell through there. I was able to pick up the bigger Gettysburg version. And all of these have Vassal mods. So definitely want to get into this and then maybe run it in parallel with, doing a little research, combine it with the research, the Sears references, etc. And maybe even Wargame Design Studio. They've got their whole American Civil War series, which I've got a good chunk of those too. So, beyond just playing, I want to kind of understand the history. I think both my wife and my families do go all the way back to the Civil War, actually go all the way back to the Revolutionary War on one side. So partly reading history there. So I'm going to be looking at that. Then the other thing, mentioned some Kickstarters, I think, that have come true. This one, Sea Power in the State, I actually have some videos on BGG on this, or on my channel too. I was able from the Compass Games site I got this game long ago, back when I was in the Navy when it first came out, back in the 80s, I think it was. And I made a Vassal mod for it later, and then when they advertised this on Compass Games site, if you look at my video, you'll see I was able to snag some of their artwork and update my Vassal mod, but then still use the original rules and play a few turns. But I'm going to revisit this now, and I noticed some hits on my video site, on my YouTube site for my previous recordings here. And they've got the rules out now too. I've already ordered the game, and luckily with Compass, they put Kickstarter games out when they're within a month or two of shipping this. So I'd imagine it would come out probably late September, October, the actual physical game. But I think I've got most of the parts that I can revisit this game and use the rules. I think they're down here. Yeah, mounted map, European extension. Yeah, I've got that. I got that in the Vassal mod, the counters. And ironically, I look at this and I say, wait, I've got all of these. I should be playing these too, but thinking I'll maybe pull this one out again and tweak the Vassal mod and see if I can play with the new rules. See how that goes. The other thing I was thinking, I could use this as a kind of a setting up battles for Microprose has rebirthed itself and put out a bunch of games, but they recently came out with a game called Sea Power computer game. There's a lot of videos on YouTube about that. It's pretty cool. And I could use that to feed scenarios into that. It's more approachable than Command Modern Era, or Command Modern Operations, I think is what they call it, which is a great naval simulator even, which this could also feed scenarios in there too. So I am going to revisit this. I'd like to revisit Sea Power in the State and hopefully get this here in the next few months. Another Kickstarter, well, I'll just mention this. I think Zilla Blitz actually got a prototype copy, but I'm into OS, Old School Tactical. You saw my 4 videos previously on that. I think it's a solid system. It's very approachable, very doable. So, I can't wait to get into it. And I just, when this came out, I snapped this up. You had a special deal if you ordered in the first 30 minutes, you get a better deal, and I snapped it up. Looking forward to this, but this will come out in January, is what they're predicting, beginning of 2026. But I'm still going to, this is my tactical, World War II tactical system, I guess, for 2025. So I've got a number of other modules of these already, the Russian Front, Western Front, Pacific I can do. I got the PNP version. I don't have the physical, and I just recently got the newest one, I think, the Italy. So I definitely want to come back to this. I'd love it if they come up with I don't know if they have a campaign or a generate your own of this. But again, there's good Vassal mods out for most of them. I haven't checked recently if the latest Italian one has a Vassal mod. So, but I will be hopefully getting this on the table, on the virtual table here as we go into the second half of 2025. Let's see, something else. Well, I will mention this one first. I did get this physical copy now finally. And I got a few turns of this already posted on my channel. I'd like to come back and revisit this with the latest rules that came with this. And of course, this is I don't know if you call it 4X or 3X. And again, this it's basically conquer the map board here. And it's low counter density. It's not really as big as some other ones out there. And again, this could be something I'd use to feed into a sci-fi starship combat system like Starfire. And I've talked about that before, or Traveler in some form. So I'm going to look at this again. And I got a Vassal mod for it, even though the boards are kind of, it's cool new games have mounted boards. It's just, they're hard to scan. So I'm hoping other people can get graphics, solid graphics. But oversized hexes, oversized counters, etc. So I'm hoping to get back to this. Now, one that I just got finally is, well, we don't need to look at that. Pocket Air War Definitive Edition. It's been a while. I think it was supposed to come out last year, but it finally did arrive. And I think it achieved all its goals, too. Yeah, I got all the mats, too, and this is how you play on it. there should be a tabletop simulator module. I think only people who bought the game get it. I've got to reach out and see. Maybe this is where I'll finally force myself to try tabletop simulator. But I skimmed through the rules and the scenarios. This is air-to-air combat simplified. Now, I will qualify simplified because I'm also kind of involved with the Buffalo, what they're called, Fighting Wings, that whole detailed air combat by JD. Pluto is his call sign. So I've been playing that off and on online. But this is more simplified. I'd look at it and see. But what's really impressive is because they made all their goals, there's aircraft for everything. The European theater, the Pacific. Here we got the Italians, got the Royal Air Force, the U.S. Air Force, the Luftwaffe, obviously. This is just the base game, and these are the little, each aircraft gets its own kind of, and they pack a whole bunch of information in here on how it flies. And you got turning templates, and I think that's a combination of the aircraft, and the speed determines its turning templates, and then, what firing template it does. I think energy, altitude, target counters, and they've got a solo system. This is great. This is great. And let's see where they got the add-ons here. Stretch goals, and they pretty much funded them all. Battle of Britain campaign. Then they bring in the Russian Air Force, Eastern Front campaign. Then we're going to get the whole strategic air war, strategic bombing campaign over the Reich. We've got some fighters there. We got some Spit. We got the Brits. Daylight bombing campaign. There it is. I think the USAAF had the B-17 and 24. Yeah, B-17, 24, and I think that's the Intruder. And of course, 51 and 47. I don't see a 38, but we'll see. And that means they've got a car. You can, fly those planes. There's the Italians. Malta. Okay. Yeah, I was listening to, I forgot the name of the site I listened to, where they analyze history. They look at Malta, and the latest one I listened to says, okay, Malta, defense of Malta, this is what really happened. And now let's do something alternative. See what happens if the Italians or the Germans took Malta. And I got a game for that I need to get back to too. Recently came out. Legion War Games just came out with one. I'd love to get into that. So look at that. Then they got this, the North African and Med campaign. Then they move into the Pacific. Got the bombers, Japanese Army. We got Pacific plane there. I think there's the 38. I knew it. We got the P-40, the Corsair. Looks like it's all here. Then we got the carrier-borne stuff, Devastator, Dauntless, Helldiver. Oh my goodness. I don't know if I got that. I'll have to look in the box. And then we do get the fighters, late war, and then they even throw in the Korean War. And they got a campaign. Detail, and then I think they ran out of planes to do for, they were making so far, they ran out of planes. Then a little pack to put it in. But yeah, and when I read through it, it literally is, you've got campaigns. You can pretty much run a squadron. And the rules aren't long, so I definitely want to try it. I'm going to get a hold of the Tabletop Simulator module and see how this plays out. Well, at the same time, I'll be doing Fighting Wings, and Tiger Wings, I think, is a new version of Fighting Wings. Fighting Wings is a very detailed airplane combat series. It's been out for a long while. But I want to try this out because, there's a lot here. A lot. So, anyway, hope to get this on the table once I get the Tabletop Simulator module. And just to tie it up, I've got all that. Definitely want to get back to campaigns in Europe. I was right at the brink of playing the France 40 again. And the guy who does all those World War II history and don't know if you know the recordings. I should have had all this stuff up, but he just did 10 days at Sedan, or I think they're on day 8, where he goes into big detail on the battles. So I definitely want to get back to that. So hopefully I'll get this going. And the Vassal mod I'm still chipping away at here. So so campaigns in Europe. So that's what I'm looking at there too. So that said, yeah, that's where I'm at. Sorry, I've like I said, I've been kind of busy, but hope to start getting back into stuff. And I think the first thing, like I said, is going to be getting the Civil War Brigade series. I think I've already set up from Worthington. I've already set up in Vassal. I've already set up, I think this one, Beaver Dam Creek Battle. So I'm going to use my Google Notebook LM. I've already uploaded Sears books, getting counts, and so I'm hoping to play that here soon. And I don't know, Sea Power in the State and Pocket Air War. Those are two I want to kind of get going. Look at those two. Campaigns in Europe, definitely. I do have something I can't really go in detail about. It's a game I'm helping with development with that I'm waiting on permission to see if my playtesting or my playthrough of some of the scenarios I can post on YouTube. I'm just waiting for the publisher to let me know yay or nay. And final thought, always in the back of my head, I really want to at some point dig into sci-fi RPG or Traveler and Starfire. The new Starfire stew is coming out, that whole system there. When I look at my YouTube and I see what's most watched, I mean, one of my Traveler videos from earlier are really, especially the solo Traveler stuff. So I've got a whole bunch of Traveler resources. And again, just to reiterate, I'm not doing it so much from the RPG point of view of, I've got my scout ship. I mean, well, I have got my scout ship, but it's not the Traveler and interacting. I was at the point of building different empires and interacting and testing out space combat. Not quite sure where I want to go, but that's something I do want to revisit too. So anyway, so that's just where I'm at. Hopefully this turned out okay. And yeah, any comments on what I posted, input appreciated. Otherwise, we'll see you at hopefully the next video within the next week at least, starting out with Worthington Publishing's Beaver Dam Creek. That's the battle I've got set up. And put the system through its paces. Okay? Anyway, thanks for listening. We'll see you at the next one.